Mary, meet my lovely ones. It's Del here from Violet Cottage. I just thought I'd do an update to our creekside food garden, which Craig is currently working on. He's using upcycled materials to create the framework and the bedding, I guess, for what we hope to become wicking garden beds. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of a walk around and show you what we've been, or what Craig has been up to. And this is what he's working on. So we've got a lot of this. We were really fortunate to get a whole heap of old clip lock roofing sheets gifted to us. And so we're using them to create what will become the wicking beds. And so I'm just showing you, this is what the layout is so far. It'll be a nice big space. And these beds are about, I think they work out to be about 24 feet long and about 1.5 to 2 feet wide, I think. And this is what he's done so far. We're using these old pine posts that we will manage to purchase cheaply from a vineyard, one of the local vineyards. They had been removing all the old posts. Some of them had rotted out at the bottom, so they were a bit taller, but we've cut off the rotten bits on the bottom and have re-sunk them in. But they were fantastic, actually. They were such a cheap purchase. So there was about 200 pine posts that I think we ended up spending about $80 on. It's fantastic. So we've had them for a few years and we've used them for a few other different jobs around Violet Cottage. And so the string line along here from this post down to where Craig is, and the 2 pine posts down the back there, eventually that will be another bay, another veggie bed, which means we'll walk in, we'll be able to walk down the middle, and there'll still be enough room for us to put a couple of bathtubs and some round planter pots in the middle to grow even more veggies. Out the front on the other side, we're developing this area, which is against post rail fence. This is where we hope to make our mini orchard. So we've already got a few trees in. We have a peach tree there that's looking very happy and healthy. We've got plum trees along the fence line, which are looking a little sad and sorry because some of the native wildlife got to it, i.e. the wallaby family. But it is growing back. We need to do some more mulching. And we have almond tree there, and there's another almond tree there. But we hope to fill that area at the front there with some more fruit trees, which will create shade and also a little privacy as well, which is awesome too. So where the peppercorn tree is there, that's on the banks of Cochrane's Creek, hence that's why we called it the Creekside Food Garden. And we'll be working on that for, I don't know, however long it takes. But Craig's been doing an amazing job. All these posts have been hand sunk into the ground, dug out, the holes have been dug out by hand. But our main aim is to turn it into a wicking bed, because where we are in rural Vic, the ground is very clay and shaling, so all the veggie garden beds will be raised, and we also get very dry weather here, so we will be, there's our girls, hello darling hearts. Water is an issue, so we'll be looking at that and trying to make it self-watering as much as possible. So we think the wicking bed idea probably will end up being the best solution. Watering from underground instead of watering just up on top all the time, which evaporates more or less. So it's a nice long, it will be a really nice long garden bed, which the drainage pipe, we were given some old white PVC ag pipe from a friend of ours, and so that will be installed on the bottom. We'll be laying some gravel down first, and then the PVC ag pipe, and then some shade cloth, and then we'll do the garden lasagna sort of layering method on top to raise the garden beds up. The pine posts are around about, I think, 6 foot tall at the moment. But what we have is we have a pile of red gum strainer posts that we purchased from a farm property nearby in bulk, cheaply, of course, which is fantastic. And what we'll do is we'll bolt them onto the top of each pine post to extend the height of it when we know how high we want to have both the shade cloth and the bird netting, because we have lots of wildlife. We have the bunnies, we have the wallabies, we have the cockies, we have all sorts of bird life. Hey Craig, you want to say hi? Hello. That's Craig. He's doing a fantastic job. Amazing job. So we have a lot of wildlife that we need to make sure don't end up nibbling on all of our hard efforts. And so we'll raise the height to where we think we need it, and be able to infill the tops of these walls with chook wire and shade cloth over the top when we need it, more so in summer than winter, and also some bird netting to make sure that the birds don't get first pickings. So all of this will be enclosed. And it means that we can also regulate when we want the chickens to come in to have a nice scratch around. That's the Araucana. Oh, she's growing her feathers back. She's been molting all summer. So she's looking a little haggard, aren't you, darling? This is Blackie. Hello, darling. But the feathers are regrowing again. Yeah. So her feathers are coming back. She's looking wonderful. So this is what Craig has been up to while I've been busy working on decorative fences, potting up cuttings in the front garden. He's been really busy putting this framework together. He's got a few more poles to come in to box it off completely and to create the second garden bed, which is going on that side where the wheelbarrow is. And then I'll be helping him put up the fencing. We've got some old emu wire down the back that I think we'll be using, and also the chook wire and the ring lock wire for the taller sections. Infill this top bit here. With chook wire, A, we can grow things up at, and B, we can help try and curtail some of the native wildlife. And along here, this will be the third garden bed. It already has an apple tree in it. We hope to put some more fruit trees in, which will also provide shade for the veggie garden, because it does get quite exposed to sunlight, and so that'll be great during the summer months. And eventually, where all these buses are here, they'll have flyovers, roofs, to keep them, not expose them to the elements rusting away. They'll have guttering on the back, so whatever water is collected will have some water barrels and tanks, IBEC containers, so any water runoff from the bus roofs eventually will also be redirected into the garden. And just turning around here, in relation to the water tank, the water tank's only about 5 metres away from the actual veggie garden. So the beauty of that is it does have an outlet, so an overspill outlet up the top, but also a tap down below, so we can use the rainwater there. But inside that shed, even though it looks pretty dilapidated, there is actually, past the pine post, there is actually a washing machine. And so we'll be utilising the grey water from the washing machine and using the washing machine pump, literally, because there's a pipeline on the ground level, that we can then use the pump from the washing machine to pump it across to where the gardens are here, which doesn't represent too hang on, translated a bit. I'll back up by backing up. But you can see how far that water tank is, once again, to where the food gardens will be. So it'll either be pumped into holding containers and water barrels, or can be pumped directly into where the mini orchard's going to be, so it can irrigate it. We've got channels that we'll be digging out in the ground to help irrigate the fruit trees there. But yeah, so that is what's happening thus far. This is part one. We'll do some more updates as time progresses. But I'm really looking forward, can't wait to be plant ready so we can put some plants in, hopefully by this spring. That'll be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to growing our own food. Well, attempting to grow as much of our own food as possible, as many different varieties of veggies and fruits for both preserving, jam making, chutney making, salads, cooking. That's just a bucket of old gazebo poles, which we'll also be using for different things. They can be reused for either stands for climbing tomato bushes and things, reinforce some of the galvo so it doesn't buckle after we create the beds. Of course, the beds themselves will be lined with black plastic before the gravel is put down. We're just levelling out the bed. Beauty about this also is the actual veggie garden, it slopes towards the creek. So any water runoff that we get from this side of the house or from the water tanks that's attached to the laundry, which is the laundry at the moment. Actually, it's a, well, I've called it Gwendal Cottage. It's actually one of the first little cottages that was built temporary as they made the bricks to build the back part of Violet Cottage. It's actually a one-bedroom little cottage. So, and eventually we are hoping to restore this gorgeous little cottage into another one-bedroom cottage with an ensuite bathroom, but we'll also retain the laundry in there. So that's another job for another day, but that's our hopes and plans for this. Yeah, so it'll be good. I've lost my train of thought. That's okay. That happens. But yeah, just thought I'd keep you updated. Oh, that's right. I was talking about the water runoff. That's right. The water runs off on an undulating angle towards the creek. So any natural runoff from water is being diverted this way as well. And it'll be easier for the flow of water being pumped from the kitchen down the slope into both the mini orchard and the veggie beds. So we're just working with the lay of the land to best optimise water retention, water collection and water flow. So I'll leave you with that. I think that's all the update for now. I'd like to say bye for now. Bye. Thank you for sharing a moment in your day with us. Hope you found this interesting. Let me know if you'd like to see more about our creekside food garden as it evolves. And once again, thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me. And I'll see you back at Violet Cottage. Bye for now.